Ever have that one friend who loves something you know nothing about? Something you wish they could explain better? Well, this isn't that show. Welcome to Drunk Fandom, the show where we have a drunk host explain something they love to a sober guest who is clueless.
Drunk Fandom.
Drunk Fandom contains swears and other not safe for work content. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. The Fierce Ferrets do not condone excessive drinking, but if you do, please drink responsibly. Enjoy the show!
Welcome to Drunk Fandom. This is Sandwich Master, and in this episode, a drunk Leia will be explaining the Ghost of Tsushima. So, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Maker's Mark whiskey, and you know what? I lost the cap, so I guess I should just finish off this giant bottle. I'm gonna take a photo of how big this bottle is, because it's... Jen bought me the huge one. She was like, yeah, you know what? You're an alcoholic. It's cool. we have a business. And I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. Listen, it's okay. All writers are alcoholics. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, don't become like me. Unless you want to write.
No. But you're a fantastic writer.
So thank you. Maker's Mark is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Apparently it's handmade, distilled, aged, and bottled in the Maker's Mark Distillery, Inc., Star Hill Farm, Loretto, Kentucky, USA, 1.5 liters, 45% alcoholic content. Also, I've been doing shots of that. Shots. And then I kind of like chase it down with Coke after the shots, because, oh my god, it's really strong bourbon. Bourbon's great. Have you ever had bourbon?
I think I have had bourbon. I've had apple bourbon and regular bourbon.
All right,
and
real talk,
bourbon is really good with apple cider.
Real talk. So this is my first drunk fandom after my transition. So
I can't clap because I'm on push to talk, but know that I'm doing it when I'm not saying anything right now.
That's why I love you, girl. You're like the best. You are. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Sandwich Master and I became friends because of Twitter. I was looking in the streamer tag, and I saw that they were streaming Mass Effect Andromeda, and I dropped in their chat, and then we became besties. We're like family now. We're sisters.
Oh, that was years ago. Like,
I
what
know,
a
right? So it's funny how you can make friends and family and whatnot. All right, so second of all, you know what? One of the things that I've wondered why we never do this. What's your favorite thing to drink? Because I'm drinking whiskey right now and bourbon. Bourbon is my favorite thing to drink, but like we never asked the sober person, like, what do you like to drink?
It really depends. My tastes vary. I enjoy a wide variety of drinks because
Good.
I don't go out very often, so I try to get something different every time. And I've really only had a couple of things I don't like. Like, I like everything from a dirty martini with extra olives to a super sweet pina colada to I won't even say no to honestly most tequila shots because I don't get mean when I'm drunk. I get really, really nice.
Yeah, we've seen you drunk. It's great. She's wonderful. Have her at a party. All right,
Right?
So Ghost of Tsushima. Now I have to ask you, do you know anything about Akira Kurasawa?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. This is not common knowledge. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, Ghost of Tsushima is a game that came out on July 17th of 2020. It's been amazing. I played a ton of it. It's been helpful with like so many bits of my anxiety, yada yada yada. Anywho, Ghost of Tsushima is inspired by the legendary Akira Kurasawa. Akira Kurasawa was a Japanese film director who, I believe, one of the most noted films that people might recognize is Seven Samurai, which was an epic samurai drama film that took place during the Sengoku period of Japanese history in 1586. And it was about a village of farmers that hire 7 ronin. Do you know what a ronin is?
Not.
Ronin are masterless samurais. So they're kind of like hedge knights in medieval Europe or yada yada. Anyway, so they hire these 7 samurai Ronin to combat bandits who are going to return after the harvest to steal their crops and stuff like that. Akira Kurasawa is like the dude who made all of the big samurai films back in the 1930s, 40s, yada yada. Like when films
cool.
were just becoming a thing, this was the guy who set everything apart. All those samurai things, wandering Ronin stories, epic ballads, and stuff like that. That was Akira Kurosawa. In fact, one of the cool things about this game is that when you start the game, you can start it in like regular English, English with subtitles, Japanese with subtitles, or, and I quote, Kurosawa mode, which allows you to play it in black and white, like his old films, with Japanese voice acting and English subtitles. And one of the other cool things about this game, and this game was I don't know if Sucker Punch, I'm going to look it up right now, Sucker Punch games, I don't know where they're stationed, if they're an American company, or yeah, they're an American company. So little tidbit before we get into this. They're a company from Bellevue, Washington. They were founded in 1997. So they're completely American. They made the infamous franchise, Sly Cooper, great stuff. They made Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is so popular right now that even Japanese studios and Japanese fans are like in love with the game, and they're like, how did we not do this before a Gaijin studio?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is a love letter to Akira Kurosawa, who, by the way, if you've never seen any of their films, check it out. They, like, older films are a little hard to watch and everything like that because we got, CGI and cool effects, but it's good to know where we started. And I'm drunk, so excuse me for mispronouncing Japanese names. Akira Kurosawa is a legend, and the works that they did inspired so many other works. In fact, they did a movie, like I said, Seven Samurai, right? That was so popular and involved in blah 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 of like everything words. There was an anime based on it called Samurai 7, which was an anime remake of Seven Samurai, right down to the names of the samurai. This dude is like the director that influenced all of Japanese stuff back in the day. So like highly recommend checking out the fact that they had I played it in regular mode with English with Japanese subtitles. I plan on eventually sitting back and playing this in Kurosawa mode. Because I'm a weeb. Okay.
I bet it's going to be such an incredible experience. Like you got to experience it with full rich color, but then now that you've experienced that world and your day glow is gone and you can focus on the story, being able to be like submerged in that black and white world is going to be incredible.
Yes, it is. And one other thing that I want to point out that's really great about this. So this is a game that is a fictional retelling of a retelling of nonfiction. So like it's fictional, but it's a period piece, sort of like Assassin's Creed does.
Oh, okay.
But there's no like magic and whimsy, right? So I want to point that out. There's no. This is all like historical fiction.
Okay, right? That makes sense. Thank you for letting me know because I was kind of thinking like beautiful. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, so like beautiful magic.
You're playing the remake of that?
I'm playing the original version.
The original is great, holds up. Aside from graphically, like the story is great. Remake is great. Anyway, so let me tell you a little other thing about the Ghost of Tsushima. They have a full Asian cast.
Oh, nice.
Because honestly, you had to. Not only that, the cast are all people. All the characters in game are modeled after their actors.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yep. So the person who plays Jin Sakai, the protagonist, is modeled off of Daisuke. I'm again pronounced. I might Daisuke. Daisuke. Thank God for IMDb showing me phonetics. Daisuke. Wow, they were born in Kuwait. Yeah, wow. That's not in Japan, I'm
Cool.
pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, they were born in Kuwait. They played the hero protagonist Jin Sakai. All the characters uh, basically were modeled after the villain is Patrick Gallagher. I don't know if they're Asian or not. I don't know. Oh no, he is Chinese descent. Okay, yeah. So he's the antagonist, Kotan Khan. Okay, so we're gonna get into the story. It was really nice to see them put a lot of, like, for those of you who don't know, Western entertainment really kind of dumpsters on Asian and Asian American talent. In fact, in Hellboy, there was a popular Asian character, and they were gonna get the guy in Deadpool who played Francis, and he found out that the character was Asian, and he was like, no. You cast someone of the appropriate heritage. Hollywood Hollywood messes with these people too much. So, and it's been a problem for a long time. So this is like one of those games that's like a love letter to Akira Kurasawa. They did everything, to my knowledge, at this time of recording. If somebody wants to point out in the comments below of how wrong I am, I will go through the comments. You can let me know, yada yada. Anywho, so you ready to start? Because this is a long game and it's a lot of cool drama.
Yes, I am.
All right, the year 1274 in the Japanese island of Tsushima. Tsushima is a part of the Japanese, like the whole Japanese nation, right? It's just one island. I don't know a lot about Japanese folklore because while I am a little bit of a weeb, I'm not super weeb. But you know, like this, I believe, to my knowledge, they mention a lot of times in the game about the shogunate. The shogunate is like kind of like the king of the land, to compare it to, and then the Jito are like the feudal lords. And so there was a Jito of Tsushima, right? So 1274, okay. Mongolian invasion fleet led by Khotan Khan lands on the Japanese island of Tsushima, right? We start off at the Battle of... I'm trying to remember the area. Where's the area? Khotan? Not... I'm gonna Google it real quick so we can just edit that. There was a beach that they were on. I'm trying to remember the name of the beach. I'm gonna just YouTube it now because because they're Japanese names, it's really hard for me to remember, especially like drunk.
Oh, I totally understand. Don't worry.
Here, Future D can edit this out.
Please and thank you.
Oh my god, you... Konada Beach. That was where it was. Okay, cool. Got it. Konada Beach. Alright. So, beginning of it starts at Konada Beach, right? You're there. You're playing as Jin Sakai, the lord of Clan Sakai. Clans are like families, you know, like noble houses in Game of Thrones. You ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, I do know what you're talking about, and yes, of course I watch Game of Thrones.
So, like, the Sakai clan is like House Stark, right?
Oh, you know? Nice!
Yeah, so, like, they're, like, boom, there you go. So, there's only, like, 60 some odd samurai left on this island. Wow. So, yeah, there weren't a lot. They were, like, knights of this era. Right? They brought law and order to all the Japanese islands, stuff like that. Anywho, so the Jito is Jin's uncle, Lord Shimura, right? And they're like, there's only like 60 some odd of us, and we'll die in glorious battle if we have to stop the Khans. The Khans, led by Khotan Khan, like the army of Genghis Khan. I don't know if Genghis Khan is alive at this point still. I'm gonna Google when Genghis Khan died, because like they were trying to take over the world. Genghis.
Yeah, they were doing a pretty good job for a minute.
So Genghis Khan, to my knowledge, died in 1227. So this is after Genghis Khan died, 1274. So basically, I guess they were still keeping on with the whole like the Great Peace. So according to them, they wanted to conquer everybody so they'd have a unified nation and like people can just deal with it, right? So anywho, so you're starting at the beginning on horseback. You're talking to your uncle, and a member of the leader of Clan Adachi goes to Kodan Khan and is like, challenge me, because they follow the code of Bushido, which is like the code of chivalry for European knights. I'm going to compare a lot of stuff to European stuff so people just can grasp it. But basically, it's a code of honor. A rules contact. Anywho, so, like, this is so fucked. He's like, challenge me. Because, like, their whole code was like, I'll challenge your strongest, you face my strongest, and then we'll just wrap it up here. That way, like, thousands of people don't need to die.
Wow.
And Kodan Khan is like sitting there, like standing there, just like, and he's just like sipping his goblet of wine, and then just looks at the dude and just splashes this giant goblet of wine on Lord Adachi, and then he's like, "What are you doing?" And then he's like, "Hold up 1 second, fam." And Adachi's like, "I'm not gonna hold up. This is like we're in the middle of a fucking battle at the beach. What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" And I don't understand. And then Kodan Khan's like, hold on, you'll love the surprise. And then he just grabs a torch and just throws it at Adachi and lights the dude on fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they don't have any, like, they don't care about the rules of warfare. They're just like, fuck it, we're taking over, we're doing this ship, we're killing everybody that doesn't play along, slavery for the rest, and we're just gonna take over. And if you follow the rules, we'll give you we'll give you peace. Other than that, fuck you. And so when that happens, the Jito Lord Shimaru and everybody's like, fucking charge! And so you're like, fucking charge! And you're just riding on horseback and, you're like slicing Mongol, and there's like thousands of Mongols there. There's like hundreds of ships. This is a full fleet invasion, 63 versus, it's like the 300 movie, kind of vibe, where there's like 60 of you and thousands of them, and you're like, holy fuck, we're gonna lose. Like, at the beginning of the game, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna fucking lose this. How the fuck am I supposed to do any of this? By the way, to those of you note, I am transitioning. I'm still taking voice classes, so if anybody wants to comment, especially in my drunken state, about my voice, fuck off. I am a beautiful butterfly.
Yes, fuck off. She is wonderful, and you have better things that you could be doing. Shame on you.
I'm just very sensitive. I don't know if Future Deacon will edit this out, but I'm sensitive. Anyhow, so you just start, like, all the samurai are just fighting the Mongols, and all the Mongols are fighting the samurai, and you're outnumbered, and Jin is just like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And then they see their uncle, Lord Shimaru, about to die, and the Mongols are just capturing him. He doesn't see that. And he gets shot in the back with an arrow, and he's like, oh god, my fucking back! Oh shit! This fucking hurts! Oh my god! And he grabs his sword, and he, like, uses it like a cane. He's like, I'm coming, Uncle Shimaru!
No!
And he keeps inching forward, and the Khan is over there being like, oh, you're the leader of this place. And he's like, just silent. And Jin's like, I'm coming, Uncle! I got an arrow in my back, but I'm coming! Oh god, this fucking hurts! And then another arrow hits him in the back, and he's like, I'm out! Motherfucker!
Oh no!
And he's like, oh, I died with honor, I guess. Oh my god, this fucking stings! Have you ever had an arrow in your back? Times it by 2, that's where I'm fucking at! Oh god, it hurts, it stings! And he blacks out. And he wakes up like with like no like I don't remember if he had his armor. I think he had his armor nearby, and it was all broken because of the battle. He's like, where the fuck am I? How am I still alive? And he goes into this town that's being raided by the Mongols. And he encounters this woman named Yuna, named after my cat, I guess, because, yeah, my little Yuna tuna, who loves to lick my face and reach for the Moona, my little Yuna tuna.
So sweet.
I'm gonna stand for my cat. No, Yuna, by the way, as a character is awesome. She's an archer who's a thief. And, she goes up to Jin. He's like, you're fucking awake. Good job, motherfucker. Thank you so much for waking up. Hey, by the way, the Mongols have been invading shit for weeks. You've been out of it. And he's like, I gotta go fix this. And he's like, where's my sword? And she's like, I sold it. He's like,
What?
That's my sword, though. You sold the sword of Clan Sakai. That's like a really well-made sword. He's like, well, you know what would have been great? Medicine to fix your fucking broken ass. And Jin's like, wow, you don't have to be so rude about it. I didn't know. And also, you're a thief. And he's like, yeah, I'm a thief. Hey, you see any other person who saved your sorry ass on the beach of Komada? Komada Beach? Huh? I dragged your naked ass around. I had to strip you down. Also, nice. There's a lot of sexual tension between them. So I ship it.
That's freaking great.
So like she's like, come with me. We'll find your fucking sword. I know the merchant. They're probably dead because the Mongols are raiding this village. So you have to stealth around, doing your stealth stuff. The tutorial's teaching you stuff, yada yada. The beginning. So one of my biggest grievances about this game is the beginning was a little bit rough, but the more you played, the better it got. Right? So like
Pilots are hard.
Yeah. But you already thought yourself to be dead, and then you're reawakened by Yuna, who saved your ass at Komoda Beach. So anyway, so you're gonna get your sword. So you go through the village, you get your sword, and you have this cool cutscene where you pull the sword out, and you look at this Mongol warrior who sees you, and you're like, "Fuck you!" And the Mongol warrior is speaking in a language that doesn't translate, and you're like, "Still, fuck you!" And you just cut him down, and she's like, "See, we got your sword back. Don't be a bitch." And he's like, "Listen, ow, my feelings." So you get out of there, and then you get a horse, and you get to actually name the horse. I forget what I named the horse. I'm gonna Google it. Horse Ghost of Tsushima. You get to name it like you get to name it one thing. I don't remember what I named it. I think I named it like horse names Ghost of Tsushima. Like, what were the names? Yeah, you have three choices. You can choose a black, white, or dapple horse, and then you can choose three names: Nobu, Sora, or Kaje. Nobu is Trust, Kaje is Shadow, Sora is Sky. Also, Kingdom Hearts.
I was going to ask what your horse looks like.
I chose a black horse, and I named it Nobu because I trusted it with my life.
Aww, I love that.
Okay, so in about an hour, you're gonna cry.
Oh no.
We're not going to timestamp that shit. Future T, timestamp that shit. Anywho, so you grab the horse and you just book it out of there, and then they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And Yuna's like, you gotta help me rescue my brother. He's enslaved by the Mongols. And she's like, and Jin is like, no, I have to face the Khan. I have to rescue my uncle. We'll go get reinforcements from the shogunate, and we'll just end this before it starts. And she's like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a good plan. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And she's like, well, I guess I don't have any say in the matter. So do it, I guess. You idiot.
Wow.
And so you go to the to Castle. I have a guide up here so I can remember the names of the quest. Castle. What are we doing here? Castle. Check out Miracle of Sound. That's great.
Miracle of Sound?
Yeah, Miracle of Sound. That's they did a song when Honor dies about this game, and it's majestic. Anyway. your uncle is being held at Kaneda Castle because the Khan wants to get him to basically get the whole island to submit to end the war before it really like keeps going, you know, because they're like, listen, you could just end it if you just fucking surrender. And then he's like, and be your slaves? And he's like, I didn't say slaves. I preferred, you know, involuntary servants, but sure, if you want to say slaves, we're going to say slaves. And then, you know, Lord Shimmer is like, you know, like, real talk, fuck you, man. Are you serious? Like, no, we'll all fucking die before we do that. Fuck you. And he's like, don't give me an attitude. I'm being up. And that's the whole point that I'm trying to make is that these assholes are like, listen, you didn't have to fight. It's like, yeah, you came on my land, enslaved my people, killed my people, hurt my people, and you're telling me I'm the baddie? Fuck you.
Right?
Fuck you. So anyway, your uncle's being held at Castle Kaneda. Canada? Yeah. I can't pronounce shit when I'm sober, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Just use your imaginations. Just picture it's the castle of the Great White North with maple syrup at this point. I don't know.
Ooh, delicious.
So anyway, you go to the castle and you kill a bunch of dudes. And Yuna's like, I don't know about this. And he's like, just, I'll get it done. And you go up against the Khan, and he's like, he fights you. And for those of you who are just going to start playing the game, spoilers, obviously, the whole podcast, so don't at me on Twitter. Right. But, like, it's an unwinnable fight. Like, you can't win. Even if you get him down to, like, a sliver of health. Yeah, one of those scripted fights. And you fight, and then eventually he beats you. And he's like, just submit. And Jin is like on a drawbridge. They fight on a drawbridge. Not a drawbridge, a rope bridge.
Ooh.
And Jin just looks at him and just takes his sword and slashes him across the face. He's like, fuck you, I got honor. And the guy gets so mad, he's just like punching him, and he's like, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! And he just grabs him and throws him off the bridge into the ocean. And then Jin somehow survives. And personally, I was like, how do you have two death tropes in the first fucking opening of the game? Like, that's you just used all your death tropes, chat. Okay,
it's like RoboCop.
Yeah, you just used all of it. You can't have any more death tropes, thank God. And so at this point, you're able to free roam everything, and you're basically like, I gotta rescue my uncle. I'm gonna like recruit people to help fight with me, and we're gonna do a whole bunch of side quests and explore all these islands, and we're gonna pet foxes, and there we go.
That sounds incredible.
I'm really shocked you didn't follow up on the pet the foxes thing. That's actually a thing in the game.
Like, actually, you can go. Are they like? Do they come to you, or do you have to chase them down?
So what happens is you approach an area, and there'll be an Inari shrine. I don't know what Inari means. I think it means fox. And so I'm not familiar with Japanese folklore, and so oh my god, Inaris are cute. Yeah. Anyway, Inari are in part of Japanese mythology. I'm Googling right now. They're a god primarily known as the protector of rice cultivation. Yeah, so it's the Shinto religion. There are fox shrines, Inari shrines, and the fox will lead you to the shrine. And after you, like, pray at the shrine and honor it, some of them will let you, like, the fox will be standing next to you after leading you, and they'll be like, hey, what up? And you can pet the fox.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Will it follow you around? Can you name it? What does it look like?
No. They're all different foxes, and they just show you. Yeah. There's even a quest where some Mongols, like, break one of the shrine and kill all the foxes, and the foxes are, like, they're mad, and they lead you to the Mongols, and you kill them.
Good.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, like, cool things, like you can go to the hot springs and get maximum health up. You can do bamboo strike. There's a lot of, like, there's a lot of stuff you can do in the game. But we're going to talk about mainly the story. So, the story is this. You are going to recruit several people to your cause, and they're going to have, like, a bunch of different quests that you can do all across 3 zones of the map. There are 3 zones. The bottom, the middle, and the top. Right? And there are 3 acts. Act 1, 2, and 3. Act 1 takes place at the bottom, Act 2 takes place at the second, in the middle, and Act 3 takes place at the top. There you go. It's a really well done game. So anyway, there are several like characters that make like that are companions that help you in the final fight, that help you in the castle Hanada reclamation. They are Sensei Ishikawa, Lady Masoko, the sake salesman Kenji, Yuna, who is the archer thief.
Can you pick from a variety of them, or is it those particular people always forever?
No, it's all story driven, so it's those people forever.
Okay.
Lady Yuriko, who is basically like kind of like your foster mom. Like while your mom and your dad died, she was like your nurse, your nanny. And then there are other tales, but we're gonna talk about the main ones about like Ishikawa, in the Way of the Bow, Lady Misako and her tale of vengeance for her family, Kenji, the sake salesman, Ryuzo, Norio. Like there's a bunch of characters, so we're gonna get to it. So basically in the beginning you're in broken armor, you reclaim, you deal with all the Mongol threats on the bottom part, you try and like get armor, you try and like free settlements from Mongol control, that kind of stuff. And you go on several quests. Also, there are hot springs that you visit that you can rejuvenate your health at and contemplate. There are bamboo strikes that you can like improve your resolve. There's a lot of cool collectibles to collect. So anyway,
that's cool. I like games like that.
Yeah, no, this game is really well done, and it didn't really break the mold, but it did a lot. So anyway, so Yuna saves you, and then she's like, I want you to help me rescue my brother Taka. And you're like, I'm gonna need people to help me. So you help her rescue Taka, which introduces you to Kenji. You steal and you sneak into Amazo Bay. I think that's the name of the place, Amazo Bay. And basically, you sneak in sake barrels that Kenji provides to the Mongols so they can get drunk. And you basically sneak around and you rescue their brother and you get out. You help Ryuzo, your childhood friend, who is a leader. He's a Ronin. Ronin are mercenary samurai who don't have a master. No lord or Jito to follow. And his people are starving, so you help him try and like take down the Mongols to get food and stuff like that to help him. And then you also help Sensei Ishikawa, who is the master archer of the bow. He studied a form called Way of the Bow, right? And his quest is about dealing with his fallen protege. Lady Misako is a quest about her entire family, her grandchildren, her children, her husband all die, her children die, everything like that.
God.
And she wants to know who fucking did it. And she's really she's really bloodthirsty. I'm like, no, they're a lead, and she killed him.
Yeah. Oh, that's so disappointing when that happens.
Mm-hmm. There is. We find out who did it. We'll get to that. Anywho, so like you do all these quests and everything like that, and you build up a force. You rescue Taka. You eventually you reclaim a forge so Taka can make you a grappling hook so you can infiltrate Castle Kaneda, right?
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and when you're doing that, you're killing all these Mongol, and people are looking at you like you're not human. And Yuna goes, and you're like, they're not human. They're the ghost. And they're like, what is the ghost? He's like, they're the fallen samurai that died at the Battle of Komeda Beach. And they have risen to fight the Mongol threat. And people start believing that you're like the ghost.
My God.
Like you're basically Samurai Batman at this point. Only you kill people.
Wow, which is the only thing that Batman doesn't do, really, if we're being honest.
Yeah, basically. Unless you're Darkseid, because fuck that guy.
Right?
Yeah. Alright, so, like, we're talking about the side quests that they're doing and everything like that. This is Act 1. So they're grabbing a whole bunch of stuff, and one of the cool things is that the side quests they kind of go to the other islands. So like you do like a couple side quests here, a couple side quests in the middle, and finish the side quest in the end, right?
Oh,
You
I
got
like that.
Yeah, no, it's really well done. And so, like, you know, I'm mainly gonna only talk about the story side quests and stuff like that. You know, like Ryozo, Lady Masoko, Sensei Ishikawa. There we go. Name. I literally kept their names in front of me so I wouldn't fuck this up. No, one of the things that I will tell you is when you're doing the story, right? So, like, do you know what the code of Bushido is?
God.
So Bushido was a set of codes, the way of the warrior, of honor, ideals of the samurai way of life, right? Best comparison would be the European concept of chivalry, right? So in the beginning of this game, you have a bunch of flashbacks that show your uncle, Lord Shimaru, who's like, you know, we only do this and that and this and that. Like, if you kill someone, you look them in the eyes when you execute them, that kind of stuff like that. And Yuna was like, listen, bitch, like, real talk, stab that bitch in the fucking neck if you have to. We're finishing this fucking war. And you do that, and then you get, like, these little flashbacks of your uncle being like, and never stab someone in the fucking neck, in the back, in the middle of the night on June 10th, 1527, motherfucker. And, like, and you're just like, I'm sorry, uncle, I did it. Oh my fucking shit, I did it. Oh my god, I fucking stabbed this dude in the neck. And then it's just like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. I don't feel so bad about it. Like, honor be damned. I'm gonna stab this other dude in the neck, and you just keep going from guy to guy, stabbing him in the necks, throwing smoke bombs, stabbing him in the neck, throwing kunai in their necks, throwing sticky bombs in their fucking taint. Like, you just keep killing them. It's great. It's fucking fun.
Wonderful.
But look, like, you have like these cool moments of like you know, like your uncle trying to show you the Bushido way, the way of the samurai, honor and everything. And then you're like, well, you know what's not honorific, uncle? A bunch of jackasses coming to our lands and fucking us all up because there's 67 of us and there's 1,000 of them. And then they pour wine on our dude who challenges them and then light him on fire in front of all of us.
Yeah. That was I did not see that coming. Like, wow.
When I watched it, I was like, damn, dude, they fucking dicks. So it plays a lot like Assassin's Creed in that regard, where you're just like, fuck them. Like, stealthy, stab them in the necky. I want that on a t-shirt. Stealthy, stab them in the necky.
Would be some good merch.
Yeah,
should
right?
Definitely put that down.
FierceFerrets.com. Check it out. We're going to be doing a ton of weird shirts. Stealthy, stab them in the necky. Yeah, so, like, you do that, and eventually, like, you recruit the other people. You recruit Lady Masako, and her whole quest chain is, like, help me find the people who killed my family. And you're like, okay, sure. And she gives you a cool armor set, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. And you do it, and you're like, okay, ma'am, I am the manager here, the manager of this quest. Can you stop killing every possible lead? For the love of God and everything. You keep killing everyone. She, like, loses her temper, and I don't blame her. She's like, you helped kill my family, my daughter, my children, my grandchildren. You cut them down. Like, it's bad. Like, her whole family's dead. And she's, like, in her 60s, so she can't even, like, you know, like, make a new family. Yeah. No, it's not like a dude who would just be like, spunk in your cooch. It's like, this is done. Menopause happened.
So sad.
It really is. And you know what? I'll be real. You want to know? She's, like, a famous voice actress. So when you hear this woman, you will not recognize her voice. She's like the A-game, A-list voice actress for that. Lady Masako. Her name is Lauren Tom, and by the way, she's like in her 60s and she's still just like drop dead gorgeous. Oh my god, this woman, Lauren Tom. She has been in over 189 things.
Reese.
Have you ever seen Futurama?
have. Oh, is she the blonde, the purple-haired girl's voice?
Amy, yes. Have you ever
my God.
seen? Have you ever seen Troll Hunters? Okay, so real talk. Now I found out another thing we could explain to you. She's been in so many things, like over the years. She was Amy Wong in Futurama. She was Ming. Have you ever seen King of the Hill?
Yes, I have.
You remember Min Sufanosophone, Khan's wife?
Yes.
That's Lady Misako.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, no, this woman has fucking range. Like, I couldn't even recognize her. She also, you ever watch Supernatural?
Yes, I haven't finished it, but yes.
You know Kevin? Kevin Tran?
Yes, the world's like most adorable prophet.
You remember his mom?
Yes.
That's Amy
her?
Wong. Yeah, that's the
Oh
same
my
one.
God.
You couldn't tell. You can't tell. She's Jinx in Teen Titans Go. She's like Lily in Heroes of the Storm. She's in so many things.
Wow,
She's
good
Wonder
for her.
Wombat in DC Nation's Farm League.
God, like what can't she do? Humans, animals,
Hey, you remember Kids Next Door?
code kid next door?
Yeah.
They do.
She was number 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the
Holy
little Asian girl.
And who does she play in this game?
She plays Lady Misako, the 65-year-old grandmother whose entire family died.
Murdering okay. Wow. Well,
I
she
know,
should
right?
pick a character, but I guess
can't
I have
even,
to support
like,
it.
Lauren Tom is a fucking treasure. Don't even. Anywho, so you do all these side quests. You take all the Mongol lands. You get the grappling hook, and you you go to your friend Ryozo and you try and like help the Straw Hats. You free them from Mongol camps and stuff like that, and everything like that. You try and help Sensei Ishikawa kill his protege who was turned on him and is teaching the Mongols the way of the arrow. You help Lady Misako try and track down her family's killer, yada yada. Right? Now we get up to, like, you get your grappling hook to climb the mountains of, to sneak into Castle Kamada and rescue your uncle, Shimura, the Jito, right?
Yes.
Alright, we caught up. It's like we're just fangirling over Lauren Tom because she's amazing.
Right?
These people help you go to the castle, right? So you go to the castle, and you're like, where are the Straw Hats? The Straw Hats are the rogue Ronin, you know, the masterless samurai.
Yeah.
That are led by Ryozo, and you're like, we have to just go, so we're gonna have to just deal with it, right? So you sneak into the Castle Kaneda, you kill a bunch of dudes and everything like that with you and Yuna, and you're just like trying to free your uncle, and then you end up at this. It's such a beautiful scene. So every single player combat, right? Like every time you're about to have like a duel, it plays like an old Kurosawa film where they stare each other down and you like flick the hilt of your sword out of the sheath, and then you just have this one-on-one duel that's very cinematic.
Oh, I love that.
It's so
God,
gorgeous. So right,
it sounds incredible.
so you're going through the castle of Kamada and everything like that, and you see your old friend Ryuzo, who looks at you like the leader of the Straw Hat mercenaries. Like they have a straw hat, they're in their samurai robes, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And they go, "The Khan has placed a bounty on the ghost. My people are starving, Jin.
No.
He betrays you." And you have this epic duel, sword against sword, in a pond full of floating lanterns at Castle Kamada. And you're just fighting and everything. He's like, "You stop this betrayal, Ryuzo. We can fight the Khans together." And he goes, "The Khans are going to win. There's nothing we can do, Jin. I have to protect my people, the Straw Hats." Right? And like you keep fighting, and he goes, "I wish you would have died at Kamada, so I wouldn't have to be forced to do this." And you fight, and you beat him, and you're both like breathing, and he's bleeding and everything, and he's drawing back, and he's like, and Jin is awesome. He goes, "You can stop this. It's okay. I forgive you. Just we can fight against the Khans. We don't have to do this." And Ryozo looks at you and he goes, "It's too late. The cons have won. The cons have won, Jin. And he just screams to everyone, the samurai is here! Get him! The samurai is here! And so you're waylaid on every side by Mongol forces. And you just, like, when I played it, I was playing in, like, the cool, like, no armor look. I was the stealth look. And I was just in, like, these robes, and I was like, I'm gonna kill you all, bitch. And I did. I fucking killed them all. Like, I just fucking, like, murder them, smoke bombs, assassinate, just, like, boom, boom, cut, cleave, yada, yada. When people shot arrows at me, I deflected the arrows in midair and then just ran up to them and stabbed them. It's awesome.
That's beautiful.
And then, you know, I'm stealthily trying to climb the tower to my uncle. And, like, there's this dude behind this like, you know, like, the side doors, or they pulled the door to the side, the paper door.
Mm-hmm.
This dude's just standing out there, and I'm like, wham! Slam the sword right through the door. Kill you, motherfucker. And I just keep killing all of them, and I rescue my uncle. And my uncle's like, Jin! And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I did it, uncle. I'm here to save you. You know, like Star Wars, like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo rescuing Princess Leia.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, the Khan has told me some fucked up shit about you, dog. And he's like, I mean, I did what I had to do to save you, dog. And it's like, okay, but no further, dog. And he's like, I guess. And so you all fight to free yourself of Castle, you know, to free you. And one of the cool things about this game, right, is that you think you got a handle on it at this point. Like, you do all the side quests, you're trying to be like me and fuck people over, right? Like, you're trying to, like, be like, I'm just gonna get every single talent trait that I can get and all these items I can get. And right? And you know what the game does? And this is really brilliant. By the way, you know how Ryuzo betrayed you, right? Their quest log said 3 out of 9, so you didn't see it coming.
Oh my god.
All the side quests say like a number. Isn't that clever?
That is really smart.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming because I thought, like, oh, maybe we're gonna do some more quest stuff, but no, fuck me, I guess.
Oh my god.
Sucker Punch did a great job. Pour one out for Sucker Punch.
I love Sucker Punch so much, especially the extended version where they sing the whole song, like in the beginning when they first are at the brothel. And it like explains the whole fucking situation, and then in the regular film they don't have it, and I'm like, what? I'm sorry.
Wait, no, not the movie Sucker Punch by Zack Snyder. No, the people who made Infamous and Sly Cooper. Different company.
Oh, then I don't know what that is.
Have you ever played the game Infamous?
No.
Well, I guess we got another Drunk Fandom coming your way, girl. It's pretty good. I love Infamous. I'll play that shit again just to like tell you how good it is. Anyway,
well.
Yeah, it's a superhero thing. Sly Cooper, you ever hear of that one?
No, I don't think so.
About the thief raccoon stealing goods? Okay, well, here we go.
Oh, not definitely not. Not after you just said that's what it was.
Yeah, I know. My wife loves that clam.
It sounds adorable.
Funny thing is, after you beat the game, you can climb a certain tower and get a Sly Cooper headband.
Aww.
I know, the amount of, like, after you beat the game, there's a lot of PlayStation Easter eggs. It's really cool. So anyway, so like, you know, your friend betrays you from childhood, Ryuzo, everything like that, and everybody, and you meet up with your uncle, and you defeat the Mongols, guarding the castle, and you're like, and he's like, we're gonna defeat them like samurai, and you're like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, whatever you say.
So you go to the second area, and the Mongols are mad that you freed their uncle. That you freed your uncle, and they're just like burning and pillaging areas and whatnot. And so here's like, by the way, I'm not gonna get into it too much, but there is a musician, like a bard character, who tells you legends of of Tsushima that teach you like cool techniques for your sword, like Heavenly Strike, a sword technique that was so feared that even the gods were wary of it, right? Where you just like dash forward at the speed of sound and you slice your opponent down. Like, there's a whole bunch of abilities that you can use that the musician, the bard, tells you, and you go on a quest to learn them.
Oh my gosh, that's so freaking rad.
It's so rad. You gotta play this game, girl.
I think I might. Like, right? It was already so beautiful and you were just painting such an incredible picture of it.
Okay, and when they do the musician arcs where they're talking about the legends, they're literally like doing like Japanese music, right? With like I don't know the instruments that they do. Hold on.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Japanese instruments. Like, you know, it's like a guitar, but it's not a guitar.
Yeah, and it's not a sitar.
No, I'm gonna Google it right now so we know. No, don't.
I have a plugin for that.
By the way,
on
you
my
can also play the flute. You can find crickets in cemeteries to learn new flute songs, so you can walk and play the flute. Yeah. Yeah, the musician plays the sashin, a Japanese string instrument. It's kind of like a lute.
Yes,
so like they'll play
that,
that, and then the cutscenes will turn to like these 2D painted animations. So the level of detail and love for this game is just ridiculous. Like literally, Japanese studios were like, "Why did a Gaijin studio do this? Like we love it. Don't get me wrong, but like, how were we so not doing this?"
Right?
I gotta show you some. I actually took a ton of screenshots about this game. It's like I got a lot of beautiful artwork done. You can check our Twitter, fierceferrets. The Fierce Ferrets Twitter. You can see some screenshots that I've posted. Beautiful stuff.
Definitely go check it out. You should follow too for just continued great content.
Yeah, if you like queer rights or just funny laughs, fierceferrets.com. We're all about here. We're all about here, chat. Anywho, so, like, you got these cool side quests that you can do. I'm not going to talk about all the side quests because we're talking about the main stuff. But, like, you can get gear, charms. By the way, you, like, equip charms to your sword. So, like, you can do either more damage or you can stealth better, stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and all the armor does different things. Like, some armors make you stealth better. Some armor makes you combat better. Some, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because then it encourages you to collect it.
Oh, yeah, no. And, like, I eventually went for the ghost armor. One other little tidbit. Depending on your honor, it doesn't affect the story at all. It affects the weather. If you are more akin to the path of the ghost, which is using, like, stuff like kunai, smoke bombs, sticky bombs, blast bombs, stealthily killing your enemies, that kind of stuff, instead of, like, approaching your enemies in honorful battle and, like, standing off with them, because there's a mechanic called standoff where you like, hold the triangle button, and then you release it when they're about to attack, and then you can just, like, cut them all down as they're attacking you. Like, cool. 1 versus 5. So, like, there's so many cool things. If you go a more ghost route, you will see more weather conditions in your game. You will see, like, more thunder, lightning, rain. If you're a samurai, you'll see more sunny days because your honor is intact.
Wow.
There are so many, like, little things about this game that they did that's just chef's kiss. So, back to the main story, right? Let's do this. So, back to the main story. You help your uncle. You deal with, like, lighting one of the lighthouses, and you find a monk named Norio. So now you're no longer doing Ryozo quests because he's a traitorous bitch.
Yeah, fuck that guy, man. I can't fucking Ryuzo. Believe that.
I know,
wow,
right?
like he tried.
What do you think of Ryuzo, Sandwich?
I
just spilled all of my rum.
You switched to rum?
All my bourbon. The name of my 1950s sitcom. All right, tell me what you think of Ryuzo being a little bitch boy.
I think that it's just really sad that someone that you had grown up with and had been there through, like, you know what I mean? And then just to not only... He was like, he had like a contingency plan to ruin you. Like, he's like, well, I'm going to kill him, but I guess if I can't, then we'll just have a bunch of bad guys in the wings. And that's... I can't believe it.
To collect the bounty on your head to feed his people. Like if you would have sided with him, you would have won.
Yeah.
So then,
like, why can't you believe in people?
So by the way, after you fight this point, like every part of the second chapter, there are Straw Hat mercenaries, like samurai who fight you. Like Ronin samurai. And then, like, there's a whole, like, story quest about fighting this first demon samurai to get his armor and stuff like that. Like, you have to do duels and stuff. Anywho.
A curse demon.
Yeah, like people, and when you fight him, you're like, you're not a demon, you're just a monster. And you fight him one-on-one and you kill him and you take his armor and you're like, fuck you, bitch. You're a bitch. Because Jin Sakai, motherfucker, like he drops the mic, but it's his katana, and then he picks it up because he's like, my honor, motherfucker. So, yeah. So you do a bunch of side quests. Like the Yuna side quests are really sad because you find out she actually was a slave.
Oh.
So the Mongols are like recruiting people to be slavers for them. And she's like, I can't go back. She's clearly suffering from PTSD. She's like, these people were slavers. Like, I barely escaped. Like, I can't go back, Jin. And Jin is like, hear me out, Yuna. I'm going to go there and I'm going to kill all these bitches. And you don't have to worry. And so, like, it's so fucked, but it's awesome. Like, you go and you find which ones are which guys. Like, there are 3 brothers who are enslaving Japanese people, right? And you go there and you kill them all and you behead them. And then you mount their heads on a pike outside of the camp. And then you just, like, whistle for people to come out and you hide in the brush. And the Mongols come out and be like, holy shit! We just saw these guys, like, 20 minutes ago! Holy shit, what the hell happened? And then, you know, like, the wind was like, it was the ghost, motherfucker. And he's like, was that the ghost just singing that in the wind? And he's like, no, it wasn't, motherfucker. This is the wind telling you you're dead.
If you're hearing this, you're already dead.
Yeah. And so, like, you kill that dude. You do a bunch of side quests, and eventually you're trying to recapture Castle Shimura, right? And you meet, by the way, to replace, I mentioned earlier, you replace Ryuzo because he's trash tier now, and you replace him with a warrior monk named Norio. Norio is a sweet babe, and I love him. He's this big, chunky boy who's a warrior monk, and you do other quests to try and get, like, warrior monk stuff done, like protecting the temples and Cedar Temple and stuff like that, and protecting artifacts. And, like, he's doing it all because his brother was this legendary hero and the Mongols killed him.
Those are the worst!
Excuse me, I'm really drunk and I'm burping.
Yeah.
Anywho, so, you know, like, you're doing that, and then you're helping Ishikawa track down his wayward protege. What is her name? She's a woman. She wears an Inari mask. She wears a fox mask.
I bet it's so cute.
It really is. It's like broken, but it's still cute. I can't remember
that's
her
kind
name.
of like
Japanese names really always have fucked me.
I bet. They're really hard to read. I have to, like, figure them out how, like, if I'm reading a book, like,
Also, at this point, you reclaim your family armor and you meet your nanny, Yuriko, and it's really sad because she's clearly suffering from, like, Alzheimer's, and she eventually dies after teaching you how to do poison. And she's like, you know, your father would never like poison. And you're like, well, Nanny Yuriko, you know what father also didn't have to deal with? An invading army. So, real talk. We're just going to deal with the poison and not be little bitches about it.
Yeah, right?
Like she teaches you how to do hallucinogenic poison and, like, blood poison, which literally just makes them vomit and die. Like, they vomit their blood and... Yeah, Ishikawa. Sensei Ishikawa, the way of the bow. His protege was named Tomoe, right? So you're, like, hunting Tomoe because she taught the Mongols the way of the bow, and he's like, fuck this shit, are you kidding me? I taught her how to do the way of the bow, and she's fucking teaching our enemy? Like, granted, she tried to kill me because I'm an asshole, but, like, and respect. Like, so you, like, hunt her down, and she jumps off a cliff, and
Shit.
And he's like, I don't think she's dead. Surprise, surprise, she ain't dead, motherfucker. She somehow survived. And then, you know, like, Lady Masako was like, I killed all these people who had leads, but somehow we still found out it was my sister who I thought had died. And then
Oh
Norio
my
was just like,
God.
we're just collecting Buddhist relics and saving Buddhist people, and everybody is like, I have a personal interest in why my life is shit. And Norio is just like,
Wow.
my life isn't shit, but my brother kind of like, I'm overshadowed by my brother. I'm in my brother's shadow. And then, I forgot about Kenji. Kenji's like this sake salesman who constantly tries to trick the Mongols to like sells them shitty stuff, takes their money, and tries to help people.
Oh,
for
wow.
profit. And then you're constantly like, Kenji, what are you doing? I have to bail you out of so much trouble. Like, you bail him out of like so much trouble of people trying to kill him for ripping him off. And he's like, no, Lord Zakai, I'm trying really hard to be better. And you kind of make Kenji a better person. So it's nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's the sake salesman. And Yuna is just like, my little Yuna tuna. My Muna.
Yeah, I just can't stop thinking of your cat.
I know. She's been replaced by my cat. Like, the voice actress, everything else, it's just the character model is now my cat.
Yes, absolutely. That's so perfect. I love it in every single way.
It's perfect.
Yes!
Meowvelous even.
Oh my god!
So eventually you do all these side quests, you get all these cool techniques from the Heavenly Strike, you're trying to recruit an army, so you go to these people that your clan and clan Shimura like basically tore down and established them. And you're like, well, the Mongols are gonna kill you. And they're like, yeah, no, we can defend ourselves. And like, really? You can't defend yourselves? And they're like, all right, you're right. We can't defend ourselves. And this is where you get your ghost technique. Like, the ghost technique is cool. So in the mechanics of the game, if you kill like a certain amount of people without taking any damage, you can enter ghost stance, where you just like put up your blade and you look at them in the eye and be like, guess who's about to die, motherfucker? And they're like, is it me? I don't want to die. And he's like, it's fucking you. And he's like, oh shit, no, I think I just crapped my pants. And he's like, good, slash. And then the other people are like, oh shit, he just killed that guy that crapped his pants. And then you're like, slash, slash. You do like 3 slashes and all the enemies just run away because you're like, holy shit, he just, like, at one point, like, I'm gonna get to it when we, don't worry, I'm gonna get to it because it's fucked. So you recruit an army to take back Castle Shimura. The Shogun sends reinforcements, and you're like, we're gonna take Castle Shimura. Ride. Talk to my guys. Ride. Side quest, ride. Boop, 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 boop. And so you ride to Castle Shimura and be like, we're gonna kill them the way of the samurai. And Jenna's like, if that's the way, but I'ma just kill them if they fucking bitches. If they be little bitches, I'ma kill them. I'ma kill them real hard. Oh, by the way, I forgot to recap. Like, your uncle, Lord Jito Shimura, was like, I'ma adopt you as my legal heir. I'm gonna tell the Shogun, like, we need reinforcements, but also this guy Jin Sakai, I want him to be my heir. He's a good guy. And you're like, my dad died because I didn't. Like, I was like 16, I was like 13, and someone stabbed him in the back in front of me. I was like, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm really scared, and I feel really guilty about it. And I really do, but that dude fucking stabbed you in the back in full armor, and I'm fucking pissing myself. And then you feel bad, and your uncle takes you in and tries to, like, make you a man. And you're like the Mulong song, like, dun 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 dun. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
Wait. What is this song? Make a man out of you?
Did you send me daughters when I asked?
No. It starts like this. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? By the way, sexist. Real talk, do you want to know something funny?
Yes.
So, do you know who Jackie Chan is?
Yes.
You like Jackie Chan?
I don't know him personally, but I've
Well,
enjoyed things I've seen.
so in the Cantonese version, Jackie Chan sang that song.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Aww.
Yeah. So like literally like we are derailed. By the way, Mulan the animated movie is great. I don't know if you want to spend $30 on Disney Plus to see Mulan live action, but like just wait. Don't give Disney $30. They're sucky. If Disney wanted to I swear to God, if Disney wanted to like sponsor us, part of me would sell out because I like food.
And they do have like some good stuff, but they're also pretty shitty, like
Yeah.
pretty bad.
No, did you hear about this? Like on Disney Plus, the server that you pay like $10 a month to do, they're like, you can rent Mulan live action for $30 instead of seeing it in the movie theaters. It's like, fuck you.
What? No, that's
Fuck you.
not okay.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. Fuck you. So anyway, back. Sorry, future Deacon. You can edit this part out. So like, Donny Osmond, I'll make a man out of you. Like you get reinforcements. You're waylaying on Castle Kaneda, and like the Mongols are like falling and everything like that. And then your uncle is like, "All right, scout ahead." And you scout ahead, and you see the commanding officer, and you jump down and behead him in one strike. Then you grab his head and go look at the Mongol army and be like, "Look what I did to this bitch. What do you think I'm gonna do to you?" Like,
all by
and
yourself?
No. You before that, you actually, I remember, you shoot poison darts at two people, and they start coughing up blood, and the commander turns around, and you jump down and behead him, and the rest of the army's like, "Holy shit, this dude's insane. I don't like this guy." And then your uncle's like, "What did you just do?" He's like, "I'm intimidating them. I'm winning the war." And then like, "No, this is against the. There's no honor in this. This is against Bushido." And he's like, "This is," and then that's your uncle, and you're like, "This is winning the fucking war. Like, look at them. They all pissed themselves and ran, motherfucker."
Yeah, we're.
And he's like, "But then there's no
like,
honor there." And he's like, "It's like, I don't care about honor. They fucking pissed themselves and ran. Like, let's win this shit. Let's go. They came here. They killed our people. They hurt our people. They sold our people into slavery. Fuck them."
Yeah, they're awful.
And your honor,
people.
and your uncle is like, honor, 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 honor. Like, you know, like with Brady Bunch, like Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. But more like honor, honor, honor. Say it with me, right? Like, or, like pretend we're mad at Marsha, but they're honor. Like honor, honor,
honor.
Yeah, like how stupid does that sound?
It's really bad,
right? Like so bad. And anywho, moving on. So you just like whatever, you do your thing, and then like they blow the bridge to the castle, and they're like, "Fine, we'll repair the bridge and we'll attack them at nightfall or the next day." And you're like, "No, man, we could sneak over there and just kill them. You know, just poison them up a little bit, kill them." And your uncle slaps you, and he's like, "That's no honor. I didn't raise you like this." And he's like, "You're not my dad, Uncle Shimura. You're just the Jito to the Shogun. You're not my dad. Also, fuck you. You were in a cage. I fucking did so much unsavory shit to save you. Get over it. Fuck honor right now. Like, seriously, motherfucker." And he's like, I can't even look at you. And you're like, "Fine, I can't even look at you." Oh my god, I forgot about this important part. So Yuna's brother, right? But prior to this, this is how you know it's a drunk fandom, because Leia has forgotten major detail because of alcohol. So Yuna was like promised a ticket to the mainland, like they'd smuggle him over and everything like that. And for her and her brother Taka, you rescued Taka. He made your grappling hook and everything like that. And Taka believed in you. He believed in the ghost. And so you go to track down Ryuzo and kill that motherfucker, because he's a traitor. He's a little bitch traitor with a stupid straw hat made of straw that's delicious, because I looked at this hat and I wanted to eat it. Like a camel. I just wanted to eat the shit out of the hat. I'm not even joking. I looked at the hat, I was like, that looks tasty, like a Gala apple.
Yes, Gala apples are so good.
You know, honestly, my favorite apples are Fuji's.
I like a Fuji, but I'm a big Honey Crisp fan.
I also like Honeycrisp. What's your stance on Granny Smith?
Baking only.
What did you say?
I use it for baking only. I don't like to eat them. They're too bitter for me.
Yeah, they're trash. They're trash tier apples. I had so many people talk to me about that in my Borderlands stream about like, Granny apples are great. Farinox, you're a fucking bitch. See, Sandwich agrees. Bye-bye.
They're not good for snacking, but they are good for pies.
Yeah, because in pies you put so much sugar in anyway that it dilutes the taste of the shitty fucking apples. Fuck you and your Granny Smith apples. All of you listening, if you like Granny Smiths and you don't like Fuji, Gala's, Red Delicious, what apples did you say you like, Sandwich? Red?
Honeycrisp.
Those are the 4-tier apples. You have 4 tiers. If you go to the 5th tier, the Granny Smith, you're garbage.
Yeah.
Fuck you. How many people are gonna unsubscribe from our channel for that? Be like, I like Granny apples. I like Granny Smith.
Have you ever had a grapple?
You know what Granny Smith apples are? They're crapple. Boosh. Mike drop. Katana drop. Kune drop. Sticky bomb drop. I'm dropping all the Ghost of Tsushima tools on your ass. Alright, but real talk. You can like whatever apple you like. Except Farinox. Fuck you. You made it to the stream. He sent me like 10 apples with green dye in Final Fantasy, and I'm like, you're a little asshole. I know, right? Anywho,
That's fucking funny.
So like you go to try and kill Ryuzo and you're trapped, and then you and Taka are captured, and he's like, I told you to run off. He's like, I came back when you didn't come back, and like the Khan is like, kill the ghost and I'll let you free. And you know what Taka does, Yuna's brother? He grabs the sword and he turns around and he tries to strike the Khan down. And the Khan kills him. The Khan stabs him and beheads him. And you cry. And you free yourself eventually, and you honor his death. And Yuna's like, my brother, and you're like, I'm so sorry. I told him to go home. And she's like, I don't blame you. I'm just mad.
Yeah.
And, you kill a bunch of Mongols and Straw Hats. You kill all the Straw Hats left. There are no more except for Yuzo. And you bury Taka, who died basically, like, in his moments of death. He chose to not betray you. He chose to die a hero. So fast forward back to after you get bitch slapped by Lord Chimera, because I did this out of sequence. So, Yuna goes to you, it's like, you could sneak out and maybe, like, deal with all the Mongols. And it's like, yeah, I can. Taka made you a gift. He made you armor to cement your role as the ghost of Tsushima. Like, at this point, you're wearing cool, like, Sakai body armor, stuff like that. And then you get the ghost armor, and you sneak under the bridge that's destroyed, and you go in under the cover of night, and basically, you poison all the fermented milk. So, did you know this about the Mongols? They didn't have alcohol. They had fermented milk.
Sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, alcoholic milk. Real talk. Sounds disgusting.
I've had that before. It was called, I was hungover from Jägermeister and tried to drink milk the next day. It did not taste good.
No, it does not. So anyway, like, they had alcohol milk, and you just sneak by and you poison all the milk and all the water, and they all just fucking, like, cough up blood and die. And you're like,
wow.
And you're just, like, singing there, like, be like, doing my ghost thing, going out on a wing, we're doing my ghost thing. I'm the ghost of Tsushima. You're all dead, so I don't need to rhyme. Fuck you. Get off my land. And so you go into, like, the castle of Kamada, and you find Ryuzo, and he's like, real talk, I could have killed you. I saw you coming in. And he's like, oh, that's your fucking mistake. He's like, just tell your uncle I was a spy. I understand now what you meant. And he was like, what I meant then was we could have fought him. Then you've been a little bitch. And he's like, I was not a little bitch. You were a little bitch. Like, I had to think about my people. He's like, I had to think about the whole island of Tsushima. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. It's like, listen, there's only one me. You don't have to say fuck you like 3 times. He's like, no, fuck you. Pulls out my sword. And you're like, come on, fuck it. And then you fight and you kill his ass. You're like, he's like on his knees and everything. He's like, please don't. And you're like, you know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? You want to know what? You want to know what? You don't want to know what? You're a traitorous bitch. Stab. Fuck him.
You're already dead.
What does that say for Fist of the North Star?
I don't know.
You don't even know that? You just quoted it?
Yeah, I just made that up.
You don't know that. Okay, so this is a meme. Are you ready? I'm about to teach you a meme.
Yeah. Okay. I love learning about memes.
So, do you know what Fist of the North Star is?
No, I have no idea.
So apparently I gotta watch this 70s anime. Fist of the North Star is like this post-apocalyptic anime starring Kenshiro Star, I believe his name is. Right? The meme you're referring to, You're Already Dead, stands for Omawa Ma Shindaru, which is a thing from Fist of the North Star, where the hero, Hokoto no Ken, says, after like they'll be like, what are you doing? And he'll just be like, punch, 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 punch. Like 1,000 punches, right? It's a 1980s anime. He'll punch Kenshiro Hokoto. He'll punch him 1,000 times in their pressure points, and then just like stand there like stoically, and he'll say Omawa ma Shindaru, which is Japanese for you are already dead. And they'll be like, what? And they'll just like explode because he hit all their pressure points. That's the meme. You didn't know that's the meme?
No, I didn't know that. I just, because he was like, the cons have already won, and then
No, that's an actual meme. It's from an old anime in the 1980s. Fist of the North Star, which now I have to watch the entirety of to explain to you. Because I know of it, but I haven't watched all of it, and now I'm going to do it in future.
Please do.
Right? It's basically the stuff it's like Mad Max.
Oh, wow. I've never seen
literally,
that either.
I remember, watching it for the first time. This dude is, 10 feet tall, full armor and stuff like that, and Kenshiro is just wearing, leather and looks like Mad Max with, a leather bracer on his cloth armor, and just, punches him a bunch of times and goes, Omawa ma Shindaru. And then the dude just explodes.
I had no idea.
I can't believe you didn't know that. It's awesome. I love it. This is fun. Anyway, so you're going and you're poisoning them and you kill Ryuzo and you're like, Omawa ma Shindaru. You're just like, you're already fucking dead, bitch. Which, by the way, I have learned a lot of secret techniques of, the Heavenly Strike and the Yogasaro Strike. And I just fucking this bitch up. I just made him my bitch. He was so dead.
So dead.
He was so dead. He didn't have a prayer. So then your uncle sees what you did, you poisoned everyone. You're wearing the ghost armor. And he looks at Yuna, and he's like, what did you do? Like, I finished it. The Mongols are done. Your way, they were preparing an assault. They were putting gunpowder by the door of the bridge. If you would have charged, all of us would have died in that charge. None of us would have survived. They would have won this fight. It's like, but you defeated them without honor. This is fucked. He's like, you know what's fucked?
Dying.
Uncle Shimaru, all of your soldiers dying. And he's like, no, this is not the Bushido code. This is not the way of the samurai. And he's like, you know what? Yuna did this to you. And Yuna's like, bitch, please? What? And Jin looks at her and he goes, just go. I will handle this. And he's like, what do you mean I'll handle it? She's like, what do you mean I'll handle this? He's like, go! He won't listen to reason. And she leaves, and she goes north to where the Khan is fleeing, right?
Wow, yeah.
And they arrest Jin for breaking the code of Bushido and doing dishonorable stuff. And so he's like playing his flute in his little jail cell and everything like that. And Kenji comes, he's like, "My lord, we're breaking you out."
Oh my god, yes.
And he's like, I can't break you out. He's like, "They're going to send you to the Shogun. The Shogun wants your execution." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Lord Shimuru is honor bound to give you to the Shogun. They're going to execute you. And the Khan, Khotan Khan, is going to just keep waging war." And so you escape, and you eventually like sneak through the base, and you find your horse.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
run off with your horse. Okay, you remember like an hour and a half ago I told you you'd be sad?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know you're the sober guest, but if you need a drink, now's the time to do it.
It's in the kitchen. Just hit me with it.
So you escape. But the samurai
Mhm.
let loose a lot of arrows, and they hit your horse.
All of them?
All of them.
Wow.
So you have a bunch of arrows in your horse, and your horse is just traveling north and everything like that.
Oh my
And your
God.
horse eventually, after a while, just dies.
What a good baby.
And you bury your horse. You bury your horse.
Oh, good.
And Jin goes to him and buries the horse and goes, "I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm
Oh,
sorry you had
that's
to
so
sacrifice
sad.
yourself for me."
Oh my God.
I know, I cried. I cried my little trans
sad.
tears.
Just loved you so much that it was like, even though it was super hurt, it was like gonna
It
just try
kept
and
you
get you
going so you could pay.
like,
You don't have your armor. You don't have your sword. Yuna has it. You
yeah.
travel north into the frozen wastes of Tsushima, and your horse dies. And you have to sneak through a Mongol camp, and you find Jin or Yuna. Jin finds Yuna, and you get your stuff back, and you free a temple, and you make your stand here. You're like, "This is it. We're gonna kill Khotan Khan." And you finish the rest of the side quests. Lady Masako's quest, are you ready?
Hmm?
Her sister faked her death to kill her family because she was jealous.
What? That's crazy.
Your sister, Lady Masako, helped her get married to a drunken asshole who apparently abused her. And she was so mad about it that she killed her nieces and nephews and grandnieces and nephews to punish Lady Masako.
It's called communication, bitch.
Yeah,
like,
bitch,
fucking
talk about it. Yeah, right? Norio, are you ready for Norio's finish? It's really bad.
isn't it?
His brother that he thought was dead was actually captured by the Mongols, and they just basically cut off his feet and his arms so he couldn't do anything, and they tortured him for information. And eventually he cracked. And Norio goes on a vengeance mission to kills the guy who did it. And his brother died anyway.
Oh,
He becomes the leader of
God.
Cedar Temple, yeah. And then Sensei Ishikawa, hunting his protege, Tomoe, right? She eventually, like, they work together to defeat the Mongols from attacking a settlement. And she escapes. And he's about to, like, notch an arrow, and Jin goes, "Look." He sees her mask on the ground and parchment, saying that she loved Sensei Ishikawa like a father, and she's sorry for everything that she did. That she taught the Mongols out of necessity for survival. That all she wanted to do was survive, and that she regrets attacking him and everything like that, and that she's abandoning the way of the bow. But basically, Sensei Ishikawa was her father. Like, even though she was adopted by him. And he was like, if anybody else was going to go to the mainland and try and make a new life, I'd say they'd fail, but she would do it. And he takes his arrow and he releases the bow and he just lets it go and lets her free herself. And he goes, "She's on a path of redemption. Let her do it." So, like, all your allies get, like, this cool closure from their side quests.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I hate when it just, like, doesn't,
I know,
things
it's
get all...
Sandwich. This game is so good. Like, the play patterns and everything could be a little bit repetitive, and, like, towards the end, I was like, I really want to see the end of the game. I'm tired of unlocking stuff. But, like, my God, the story's good.
So sounds like it. I fucking love it.
So then eventually, like, you do all the side quests, you free all the people around the area, and then you're like, all right, it's time to kill the fucking Khan.
Mm-hmm.
So you're dressed up in the ghost armor. Like, I dressed up in the ghost armor. You can dress up however you want, but you know what? I was a badass. Like, let me tell you.
The ghost armor is the coolest anyway.
Yeah, so the ghost armor has like an Oni mask, so like you literally hook around your ears.
Oh, is that the mask that was in the music video you sent me?
Yes, it was the mask in the news where he's like looking. I'm sorry if I'm
like
slurring the words, where he just puts the mask on. Man, when we get to the ending, you're gonna love this. All right, so we get to so like you scout out where the Khan is, and I'm trying to remember where it is. It's in a fishing village, Izuma Port, right? So before you go to Izuma Port, you've done all the side quests and everything. Hopefully, you go to Izuma Port and you scout. There's a storm coming, and you see the Mongols have, by the way, stolen your technique for poison and are poisoning people, and they're gonna bring that technique to the mainland. And you're like, I have to stop them before they hit the mainland, right? So you go to your uncle's Castle Shimura, and you sneak in there, and you're like, sneaky, 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 boop, 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 sneaky, 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 and you send him a letter being like, listen, we're gonna attack the Khan at Izuma Port on around this time because the storms are going to prevent them from sailing to the mainland. This is the last chance we have to strike them down and stop the Mongols from attacking the mainland.
Yeah.
And you know, like, so like you send it, and Yuna's like, I was worried you didn't come back, and you're like, no, I got it. I'm hopefully they come, but they don't look like they're coming. So you fast forward, you go to the Izuma Port, and you're like, okay, it looks like we're just on our own, right? Like, our people that stayed with the ghost, and you know, like Sensei Ishigawa, Ishibawa, I'm trying to remember the name. Kenji Ishikawa, I was right. Lady Masako, Kenji, Norio, they all help you, Yuna, right? And you make Yuna promise that no matter if you fall, like, you'll keep going. And she's like, you're a bastard, Jin. Like, I lost my brother to this. And then she's like, you know, we could just run away to an island. And he goes, would you really want that? And she's like, you know, we have to finish this. And I'm like, I ship them. I'm in a same-sex relationship, but I ship them so hard. Chin is so great. By the way, shout out. Hold on. Shout out to the voice actor for Jin. Where the fuck is your name? Why are you making me IMDb this? By the way, shout out to the villain, by the way, Patrick Gallagher. He was a great villain.
Love a good villain.
Shout out to Daisuke Tsuji. He was great as Jin. By the way, Sensei Ishikawa, have you ever seen The Tick on Amazon?
I saw a couple of episodes, but I have so many shows to watch. I'm really horrible at them, actually.
I know. He played Walter on The Tick. He was Sensei Ishikawa. He was great too. Love him. It was a real treat to see all these people be basically like their faces captured for the characters as well.
You told me that, and I thought that was so great of them. Like,
it really was, yeah.
It really makes them the character.
It makes it feel like video games are more of a cinematic movie-like experience.
Definitely a beautiful form of art, and I love that it's being recognized and explored as such.
I'm gonna at Sucker Punch about this because it's so good. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to the final battle, and I like real time. You go into the final battle, and you're like, my uncle isn't here, and everybody's like, well, fuck your uncle, man. Like, he's kind of a dick if he ain't showing up. and you're like, he was my uncle. He was my father uncle, because he was gonna adopt you. And you're like, and so you you go and you infiltrate his last final stronghold, and like your allies basically cause a distraction. You're like, here I go with killing again. Here I go with killing again. Like real talk. And it's such a good boss design, and I'm gonna tell you. So you know that 1-on-1 duel that you have that I told you about, like with so many duels, like you pull your sword out and he has a spear and you just fucking fight him and everything, and then you beat him, and you know what he does?
What?
He fucking runs. He runs to his flagship, and I'm playing like the ghost pattern, so like storms are brewing and shit. And I'm like throwing smoke bombs. I'm like, assassinate, assassinate, assassinate. Kunai, kunai, kunai. Bow in your face, bow in your face, bow in your face. Sticky bomb, sticky bomb, sticky bomb, sticky bomb, sticky bomb, sticky bomb. Ghost form, slash, slash, slash. And then I get to the ship, and he's like, what are you still doing, man? And I'm like, I killed all your people. Fuck you. And then you have another boss fight. And then he summons more people, and you have another boss fight. And you finish him off there. And he's like, and you're just like, obey him, obey him, obey him. And you stab him to the mast of the pole. And he's like, it doesn't even matter. I will be remembered. I will be remembered, you stupid samurai bitch. And you're like, you'll be remembered? No. You know what you will be? Like, you're stabbing him through the gut and everything like that. Oh. And you know what he goes, I will be remembered. And you know what Jin says? He just looks him dead in the eye. Windows of his motherfucking soul. And Jin Dakai goes, you will be forgotten. And kills him.
Shit. Holy shit.
And the ship is on fire, and that bitch jumps off, leaving everyone to die. And Yuna's like, oh shit, you survived. And he's like, yeah, dog. And they high five, and she just carries his ass out of there. Wow. By the way, during this time when all looked lost, and the Mongols were regrouping on the ghost forces, Jin's uncle, Lord Shimura, was like, samurai here in the house, motherfuckers! And they're just like, kill, 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 kill. Got my horned helmet, kill, 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 kill.
Oh. Jeez, dude.
It was such a good ending, man. That's not even the ending. Are you ready for the ending? Because we're about there.
Yes, I have to be. I'm excited.
All right, so Khotan Khan is dead, right?
Yes.
The Mongol invasion loosens all of its momentum. There are scattered forces, so, you know, they'll wrap it up, right? Jin is summoned by Lord Shimura, his uncle. They go to his childhood home, Omi Village, the place where Jin's uncle trained him to be a samurai for the very first time. And they talk and they reminisce. And they both together help a person go get out of the mud, like their merchant vessel, get out of the mud to, you know, go north to give supplies to the ghost army. Because people have rallied behind the idea of the ghost, and they want to give money and resources to them so they can help fight the Mongol forces and keep Tsushima safe. And Jin is like talking to his uncle. He's like, I would tell them to stop. It's fine. I did this for my nation. I didn't like what I had to do, but I did it because if I didn't do it, we'd all be Mongols right now. We'd be speaking Cantonese. You know, like where I did this, and I would make the same choice again, motherfucker. So, and this is the Kurosawa moment, by the way. This is like the peak, like, samurai drama, Western. By the way, did you know that, like, most Westerns are influenced by Kurosawa?
Not know that.
Yeah, like, you know, like the typical, like, gun showdown with the cowboys have their fingers close to the holster, and they pull out the gun and they shoot each other. You know that?
Yes, I do.
That's a Kurosawa thing where both of the samurais had their hands near their swords and would flick their swords out of the sheath and pull them and strike.
Wow, I did not know that. That's fucking cool.
American westerns were heavily influenced by Japanese samurai films.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so they're talking and they have a day together and they go to Jin's parents' graves and everything like that. And Lord Shimura explains like the Shogun is mad and wants the ghost to be executed. And that Clan Sakai is going to be disbanded, and that there's no more Clan Sakai, that Jin is now, clanless and everything like that. And Jin is like, the Shogun wants my head. And he wants you to deliver it to them. He's like, you were my son. He goes, you don't have to do this. And he's like, I have to because I follow honor. I follow the code. And Jin is like, and they basically have an epic duel, and they're like, write your last words. And so they basically both walk away from the graves, the cherry blossoms, and they both write their last will and testament. And, they're about to face off, and he goes, his uncle, he's like, Jin goes, you don't have to do this. I did this for Tsushima. And his uncle goes, you have no honor. And Jin goes, you're a slave to it. And they basically have this epic duel at the in the cherry blossoms in front of Jin's parents' graveyard, and and they're fighting, swords clashing, everything. And when you win, you have the choice. Lord Shimura looks at you, bleeding, kneeling on his knees, and goes, "Finish it! Give me a warrior's death." And you have the option. You can kill him, or you can go and not kill him. I chose to not kill him. Because I'm aces, right? Like, I'm awesome. So, and this is like one of my favorite moments in the end. The ending is so good. Jin takes the ghost mask and notches it over his ears and goes, I have no honor, but I won't kill my family. And he starts walking away and he goes, you'll be hunted until the end of your days. And Jin goes, and I would do it all again.
Aww.
And he walks away knowing that his life, his heritage, his family's name, his hall, everything taken away from him. But he did what he thought was best, because the Isle of Tsushima is safe from the Mongol threat.
Oh, that's beautiful and sad at the same time.
It's perfect Kurosawa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And now Jin, regardless of your answer, Jin has to remain a fugitive until the end.
Yeah, because there's no way he can escape.
He is now known as the Ghost of Tsushima.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
That's incredible. Holy crap, that's so good.
If you and the fact that you could play it in like a Kurosawa fashion, where you can play it in black and white, like the love letter to Japanese samurai films and Ronin films and everything like that.
Oh man, thank you so much for explaining this to me. This was so good. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, really? You want to know? It was the ending.
Yes.
The ending of just like both of them staring at the gravesite with the cherry blossom leaves floating down, and then Jin flicking his sword up, and they fighting, and they're talking, and they're fighting and everything, and I can't remember the lines that were said 100% because obviously I'm drinking, but he's like, you don't have to do this. He's like, this is my honor. This is my burden. This is my punishment to bear. I failed you. Like, that's what his uncle said to him. Because his uncle loved him like a son.
Mm-hmm.
And, the fact that he had fought so fiercely to stop Khotan Khan and the people from doing all this stuff. And I just love that moment where you get to choose, like, I have no honor, but I won't kill my family. Like, you showed that you were above this. My favorite part was when Lord Shimura, like, they're clashing blades. It goes, you have no honor, and Jin looks at him dead in the eyes of his soul, and he goes, you're a slave to it. And I really thought, like, this is a great analogy for progressivism to conservatism and moderatism, right? Like, they would not have won without Jin's actions, and they were awful. Don't get me wrong, they were awful. But, like, these stodgy old mindsets weren't doing the samurai and the shogun any favor. They were going to lose. Jin, sacrificing himself and his morals and everything saved Tsushima. All those innocent people were saved because he did unsavory things. He stabbed people in the neck. He stabbed people in the back. He freed slaves. He poisoned people and watched them die and did not take any joy in it. But he did it to make sure that people who did not ask for this war were safe. Yeah, that was another thing. The Khan, when you're throwing down with him, he's like, you chose this. You chose war. I gave you an option of peace. And I'm like, bitch, you came to my house and shot everything up. And you're like, this is mine now. Fuck you. Fall in line or else. Like, fuck you.
Wow. That's so, oh my gosh.
It is an incredible game. I know that this has been spoilerific, but let me tell you, watching it and listening to it are two different things, especially since I'm a drunk skunk. Play it. It's a really good game. Props to Sucker Punch. Like, when Japanese developers go, why didn't we do this first, should show you how well it was done. They literally were like, this Gaijin studio did this amazing thing. How?
So well that, like, they're even impressed by it. And I'm like, wow, they did it before us, and then they really fucked it up. Like, they did it before us, and they did it justice.
My hope is that we get more samurai shit, because, like I said, I loved Rurouni Kenshin. I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I love the Seven Samurai, Samurai 7. I love the idea of the wandering Ronin. It is one of my favorite tropes of the wandering swordsman. In one of my works, I'm doing that, where it's a woman who is a swordswoman who basically broke free of her slavery and basically becomes a wanderer. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm doing. I love this archetype. I love samurai shit. And the fact that we got Ghost, and you know what the thing is, Sandwich? I buy so many games on a whim, right? Thinking like, oh, you know, I'll really love this. I bought this game, thinking about all the times I bought other games on a whim, thinking, this game's gonna be shit. Every time I buy a game on a whim, I'm gonna hate this shit. You know what? Yeah. I bought this game. I couldn't put it down. Every day, I'd play at least an hour or two. And, like, that would be my downtime when I'm not working. I'd be like, I'm not video editing, I'm not writing, I'm trying to get inspired and happy. And I'd play, and I'd explore, and I'd pet fucking foxes, and I'd kill samurai Ronin, and I'd kill Mongols, and I'd sneak into place. And I loved every second of this game. The only thing is, towards the end, I was like, I'm ready to see the end. And it wasn't anything to do with the game. I just wanted to see the story finish. The story was so good.
Story, though.
Feeling like that belief of, like, using all that techniques that I learned. Like, when I killed Kodan Khan, I beat the shit out of that motherfucker. I when we were in the second and third phase, I was like, heavenly. What were some of the cool techniques and techniques? Ghost of Tsushima. What were some of the cool techniques I learned? I learned mythic techniques. I'm trying to remember the things I learned. Because I learned how to turn my sword on fire. That was great.
That's like, so freaking handy.
Yeah. I remember now. I learned Heavenly Strike, the Dance of Wrath. The Dance of Wrath was where you pull out your sword, strike 3 times faster than the eye can see, and you just fucking destroy them.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I did the Way of Flame as well. Like, I light my sword on fire. I beat the shit out of that Kodan Khan. He was a dying little weepy bitch. I did it.
No single chance was had that day.
Oh, by the way, when you do the ghost technique where you like kill a bunch of people and don't take any damage, and then you can like unlock it, like Kratos' God of War kind of like stance, the Spartan Rage stance. Yo, real talk, the people literally stare at you horrified. They can't even move. They like kind of tremble and back up a little bit. You stab them, and after 3 strikes, the rest of them just fucking run.
Would do.
The flavor of the game was just chef's kiss.
Oh, that is so good to know. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed learning about it. Thank you for explaining it to me.
All right, so it's about that time again, and I am your drunk person, your drunk skunk. I'm asking Sandwich Master here, what did you learn about Ghost of Tsushima?
I learned that you can't trust anybody ever, no matter what they say, except for the people that you thought you couldn't trust before, because those are the only people you can trust.
Trust your grandmas, your way of the bows, your sake salesman, but never your wandering Ronin.
Yeah, never your friends
also
or your family.
Warrior monk, yeah. Friends and family, fuck them.
Yeah, but everyone else, the friends and family you choose along your journey are the ones that you should stick with, is what I've learned from this. Not the ones that are just out of convenience when you're younger or your family. The ones that you make your family are the only people you should trust.
Did you have any favorite like moments about it? I'm just curious.
Definitely fox petting. I'm super into that shit. And man, I just really want to see the scene where you're at the grave with the cherry blossoms. Like, that sounded incredible.
It was so, like, the fact that they both wrote their last will and testament in case the other one died. Like, they both, it was like this beautiful, like, dance of blades, like, of honor, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you like, they both knew, like, either one of us could die, so, like, here's what the other one would say as their last words. They both respected each other no matter what. And I love that line so much. You have no honor. You're a slave to it.
Yeah, that is like haunting. That's such a good line.
It is, right? It resonates with me.
I think that's gonna be like a Stephen King short story. Like, it's a little tic-tac, and I took it in, and I understand that it's powerful, but I will like think about it in my free time, and it will eventually manifest into some sort of change in me.
So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now I believe your responsibility, your honor, is bound to do the outro to this wonderful segment we do called Drunk Fandom.
Well, if you liked what you heard, be sure to check out our full podcast, Drunk Fandom, at fierceferrets.com. And remember, stay salty.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe, or else you have no honor.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it for the honor.
Toodles. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching our video. Now to give a special shout out to our sponsor tier patrons. Neji Kuma, we appreciate all the support you give to us, you keep the channel growing and the content flowing. If you want to be alerted to when we post a new video, make sure to ding that bell next to the subscribe button. If you like the content you see here, then consider tossing us a follow on twitch.tv/fierceferrets.
And if you're really feeling the ferrety love, please consider supporting our work at patreon.com/fierceferrets. We don't make any money here on YouTube, so we rely on the generosity of our Twitch and Patreon subs, listed in these credits here, to bring more quality entertainment to you. And you'll get some great rewards for helping out. Thanks again, friends!
And we'll see you next video.